this is Jasmine, and today I'm sharing the first part of an illustration I'm working on, and I'll talk a little bit about inspiration, composition, and reference. First, this piece itself. This is part one, the sketching phase, and I'll bring this to full completion of the line work. Now, keep in mind that I work lineless and painterly, so I have no need for clean, sharp strokes. I just need to make sure that everything is accurate. I'll post the coloring stage at a later date, and it'll most likely be a much longer video. So the inspiration for this piece came out of the blue when I was looking through art tags and admiring other artists' work. I saw a few images of big cats with iridescent colors, and I just loved the rainbow feline aesthetic. I didn't want to copy these other artists though, I wanted to make something my own. I took mental note of the three things that I wanted to convey: fantasy, color, and a big cat. So, with that thought in mind, I came up with the idea of a leopard perched upon a vast oak branch that was completely covered in various colors of fungi and lichen, a fantastical amount, if you will. And from there, it only made sense that this animal should have colorful spots to help it blend in with the environment. And so I had it, the idea: a colorfully spotted feline among the branches of an equally colorful and fantastical canopy. After the idea was born, I looked at many different images to get an idea of what kind of composition I wanted. The first thing was deciding what kind of balance I wanted in the image, and after looking at work from some of my favorite artists, I narrowed down my preferences to scenes where a lot of detailed background was visible, broken by interesting negative space, and with a subject towards the lower right. And so this is the look I attempted to replicate. I wound up with many different references. I have a main structural image for the branch, as well as several images to reference the oak bark and leaves, a few references for the cat itself, and a whole ton of pictures of lichen and mushrooms. I'm not copying any image in its entirety, but rather taking certain aspects and using them as guidelines. In this way, I can draw accurately while also drawing what I see in my head. After all, everything I can picture is based on something from real life, so it's just a matter of narrowing those things down and placing them where they belong in a cohesive piece. I also knew that I wanted this to be a piece that would do well on various prints, and side note, this will be available on my Redbubble shop when it's finished. So I made this a large canvas at 300 dpi and added a small border around the edge in red to allow for any trimming. This area won't have any of the main subject in it. Once I have my composition decided and my reference gathered, it's all a matter of sketching. I frequently use my reference images and measure them roughly with whatever tool I have available to make sure I'm staying accurate. I also pay close attention to the shapes that the negative space forms. That can help if you're not certain why something doesn't look right. Just step back from the form itself and look at the shape around it. Don't think, what does the contour of this space look like? Instead, try thinking, what does the contour of this negative space look like? If you can learn to juggle back and forth between those modes of thinking, it can do wonders for your forms. One last thing you may have noticed about this sketch is that due to the level of detail, I go in on separate layers and with different colors to help me stay sane. This is something that you can also do in traditional mediums with the use of different colored pencils, tracing paper, or even drawing your elements on separate paper, cutting them out and moving them around until you get the look that you like. These are all methods that some professional artists use. Well, this is it for part one, the sketching. If you're excited to see the full illustration or any of my other art videos, you can subscribe to me here, and otherwise, thanks for stopping by.